Okay, James, it's been a pretty shocking week for United so far, compounded this morning by the news that Vidic has been for the rest of the season. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that was their worst fears realised. Really, as soon as Vidic went down on Wednesday, I think everybody thought this could be a bad one, and it has been confirmed that it's ligament damage, and yeah, he will be out for the rest of the season. There's no date yet set for when he's going to have an operation because he's got to wait for the swelling to go down. But they'll definitely be without him now for the rest of the season, which is obviously a massive blow because he's the captain, he's the dominant figure at the back, and they may have Rio Ferdinand there, but Rio Ferdinand's had his own injury problems in recent years, so it's a case of how many games he can play. And other than that, they've got a lot of young players really. They've got Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, and Johnny Evans. So yeah, there are some issues in central defence.
How do you think he'll play it then? Because I mean, he's been using Phil Jones in centre of midfield. Do you think he could possibly drop back?
Yes, yeah. I think they've got the numbers. I would be surprised if they went out and looked for another centre back. Because I think they've got bigger issues elsewhere. To be totally honest, they've got 4 centre backs to pick from in Ferdinand, Jones, Smalling and Evans, and you would think that would probably be enough. Jones has been superb this season, so has Chris Smalling, and Johnny Evans has responded well to a difficult season last season. So I would say that even with Ferdinand's injury problems that he's had in recent years, I would think that they've got enough at the back to last until Vidic comes back next season.
Okay, aside from that Vidic issue, there's obviously the wider issue of going out of the Champions League and just in general the feeling United is struggling at the moment. What was Sir Alex Ferguson's mood like at the press conference this morning?
Well, actually today he seemed fairly upbeat, to be totally honest. It's obviously been a horrendous week for him and for United. Going out of the Champions League was nothing short of a disaster, and I think he described it as punishment having to go into the Europa League. But he was a lot more positive about the Europa League today, and when he spoke of punishment going out to the Champions League, he meant in the sense that United, all they've had to concern themselves with is the Champions League winning the European Cup. So obviously the Europa League is a realignment of their focus. But no, he seemed fairly upbeat. But yeah, there's no getting away from it. Going out of the Champions League at the group stages was absolutely unthinkable at the start of the season. And then when you look at the draw that they had, it was a dream group really, and they really conspired to get themselves out of it by not beating Benfica at home and not beating Basel at home. They've been architects of their own downfall.
Okay, they've got to pick themselves up quickly if they don't want to lose any ground in the Premier League, and it's Wolves tomorrow.
Yes it is, and as United fans will remember, when they played Wolves last, they lost at the Molineux, and that ended their unbeaten run last season, which ran all the way up to February. They have actually traditionally had quite a hard time of it against Wolves since in the Premier League era. They've generally scraped narrow wins or lost to Wolves. They lost to them in 2003-04 again when they looked like they were going to be running away with the title, and they lost, and that pretty much that derailed their title run that year.
Right, and just finally, James, the fans are clamouring now more than ever for a new signing. Do you think there's a likelihood of that in January now?
Well, we know that Sir Alex Ferguson doesn't like buying in January, and he's generally got quite good reason for it. He doesn't like buying in January because prices are inflated, and generally most of the top players, the players who want, the players who can come in and make a difference, are cup tied in the Champions League. Now, let's say what bonus, if you like, of them going out of the Champions League is that they don't have to concern themselves with that anymore. I don't think they would be thinking, right, well, we're not going to sign this guy because he can't play in the Europa League, because more important is the Premier League. So I think the last time they went out of this group stage, which was in 2005, was about the busiest Ferguson's been in January in recent times. That was when he signed Patrice Evra and Nemanja Vidic, and that really was the beginning the building of his next great team. That side, that squad that he started with the signing of Vidic and Everett, went on to win a hat-trick of titles. Of course, they won the Champions League as well. So there's precedent there that you go out of the Champions League at this stage and things have to be done. I mean, the fact of the matter is that they've got a lot of injury problems at the moment. They're having an absolute nightmare at the moment. Tom Cleverley out, Anderson out, Michael Carrick out, Berbatov, Hernandez, now Vidic. The squad is severely depleted. I think we saw that with the side that he put out on Wednesday. So yes, in January I would expect him to be hitting the sales.
Okay, James, thanks very much.